The kids are laid on the bed, because obviously you can see straight down when you're on the back. The kids are laid on the bed. Papa's washing his willy! Really loud. And I can hear people in the car next to us, like packing the car after being to the lake. Papa's washing his willy! Welcome back to the Life on a Stick podcast, a podcast about how we're trying to live life to the full amidst battles with cancer, living in a van and doing our best to raise two half-decent kids. I'm Tom.
I'm Malin.
And for us, living life to the full doesn't necessarily mean learning to break dance in 40 minutes and competing at the Olympics like that Australian legend the other day, but rather learning to appreciate the little things in life and trying to see the positives in wherever we can.
I would be as good as her on breakdancing, to be honest.
Better. I've seen you breakdance.
Yeah.
Back in your fun days.
Oh.
Maybe not breakdancing, but I've seen you bust some moves.
Yeah. Good times.
That Australian breakdancer.
She was something.
Something else. I don't know whether it was a meme or if it actually was, but she said, did she actually say she learned to breakdance in 37 minutes?
I don't know. I read it on like a news, like it looked like a news thing, but it was still just on Instagram, so I don't trust it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But that's the rumour. But if it's true, like, amazing. To be fair, it does look like something that you could put together in 40 minutes.
I was going to say, I like Charlie got better moves than that, to be honest.
What a legend, though. If it's true, she got some balls.
Yeah, definitely.
To be honest. So it seems that we've fallen into the roles of this podcast quite well, because I end up doing most of the editing and stuff like that. You come up with all the subjects. So if the editing is terrible, then you know why. If the subject's
terrible, then Tom's done it bad editing.
Oh, fair enough. I walked right into that one, didn't I? So go on then, subject master. What we got today? What we got on the schedule today?
On the schedule today, we got something that I think a lot of people wonder when they look at us. That is, how is it actually to live in a van? Yeah,
right. Good subject.
It is something that we get, or like have gotten quite a lot throughout the months that we've lived in the van. Like, how is it actually to live in a van? Do you not drive each other insane? How is it? Like, do you feel like you live on each other?
Yeah.
And I thought this could be quite a fun subject, because it's something that we not really discussed.
No, it is. I was just thinking that. To say that it's been a big part of our life, like one of the biggest parts post-cancer, we've not talked about it that much, have we?
No.
Like on the YouTube channel or anything, we've not chatted much about like the ins and outs of it so much, I don't think.
No.
So, cracking subject. We've had a few questions about it. Normally, when you meet people in the wild, you get... it's like, how do you shower? That's one that I've heard loads of times. Like, have you not got a shower?
Yeah, how do you shower? Where do you use the toilet?
Yeah, toilet's a big one. That's pretty easy. We've got a bathroom with a toilet in it. So
yeah, but that's still a big thing for people.
Yeah, and all of those answers to come during the episode then.
Yeah, you either going to listen to a really, really good, fun conversation or a massive argument now. So be prepared.
Either way, it'll be entertaining, I'm sure.
So probably the biggest question that I think a lot of people have, but not too many dare to ask it, because I think a lot of people our age is like, I'm so like dependent on my own time. And when you live in a van, you can't even go to a second room and close the door behind you. So like, how do you feel? Do you feel like you're locked into this van with three insane people?
Yes.
Wrong answer.
End the podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Yeah, the thing is, it all comes down to living in a van. For me, at least, it's not much about living in a van. A lot of the time, you're outside. You're outdoors most of the time, aren't you? So, yeah, okay, sometimes I feel like I miss that, being able to go and, you know, I don't know, put a PlayStation on in the other room, or go and, you know, do something, potter around a garden or whatever. But most of the time, you're outdoors. You're not locked into a van with three insane people. those 3 insane people are in the van.
Follow you.
And you're 3 kilometres. You're 3 kilometres away, having the time of your life on your own. No, yeah, I think sometimes you feel like you live on top of each other when you spend a lot of time in the van. That's true.
Yeah.
Like I think when it's bad weather, you've got a couple of hours before it starts feeling cramped.
For me, like I agree with you, but I also think like if it was just you and me, it wouldn't have been a problem for me. Like now it becomes a problem because we got 2 kids who gets too much energy. That's where the problem comes in, like from my point of view, because it's not that I feel like I'm on top of everybody and I wouldn't be able to just sit and enjoy like to crochet for a couple of hours or put podcast on or just listen to some music and tidy the van or do whatever. Do you know, like there's so much that you can do inside where you don't feel like you're actually annoying each other.
Yeah.
But the hard part comes when the kids get bored with like drawing, playing games, building Legos, whatever, when the energy levels are just like so high in their little bodies.
There's only so many games of Uno you can play, isn't there? Before people start bouncing off the walls, yeah.
And then it really feels like you live on top of each other.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I still felt a lot like that when we were in a house. Just like, yeah, I could go upstairs and be like, all right, I'm going to go and have a shower and get away from the insanity for a bit. And here you can't do that.
No.
But like I can't say that it's that big of a difference.
That's
in
what I was
that
just
way.
thinking. Like all the reasons that I feel like we live on top of each other, I think it would be the same in a house still. Like it was back when we lived in a house, a lot of it.
You were as annoyed in a house as you're in a van.
Oh, it's one of them evenings, is it? I see what mood you're in. It's a roasting evening. Isn't it? Well, these ones are normally fun and entertaining, at least. Do you know why this is? It's because we recorded a low energy one last week. We recorded a low energy podcast where we were both tired.
Yeah.
You've listened to that back, haven't you? And gone, I need to step my game up and roast him a little bit more.
Gonna twist his nipples a bit.
There'll be no nipple twisting live on air, I'll have you know.
He'll edit that out.
Yeah. Note to self, edit out nipple twist. There you go.
No, but seriously though.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big of a difference to me. I think a lot of people would find it very, very difficult. But because you and me have always been very, very close. And we've been very, I don't know, grown into each other kind of thing. Because it's, when you moved here, you didn't have any of your own friends here. And it became like you and me and my old friends.
Yeah.
Or my friends' old friends. They're so old.
Them 70-year-olds that we were knocking around with on a Friday night, yeah. That we were playing Yahtzee with.
Exactly.
We got really good at being mates as well as like being in a relationship, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. And therefore, I don't think it's that hard to live together this tight because I'd never feel like it's too crowded.
No.
Like so many people find it very difficult to have the thought that they would live like this with just their partner.
Yeah.
And I don't find
I don't feel like that at
hard.
all. I feel like if you'd have asked me before we moved into the van, I'd have been like, maybe, I don't know, I do like my own space, not sure. But now, having lived in the van for the best part of a year, actually, I don't feel like that at all. I feel like you and me on our own, it would be almost paradise. Like, I'm not saying, okay, this is going the wrong way. Like, I'm not saying that I need to preface this by saying I don't regret having the kids, all right? I love my kids. My kids, they're all right. They're good people, despite what you've heard. If it was just you and me living in a van, I don't feel like we would live on top of each other. That's my point.
Yeah. Like, obviously not everybody would feel like this, but for me, and it sounds like you, it does feel like life is so much easier living in a van. Even if some days, if it's raining a lot for many days, you get bored with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you get bored with it because there's only so much you can do inside a van with 2 kids.
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot more things that you have to think about when you live in a van. There's a lot of things stuff like that you'd never have had to think about otherwise. Like, for example, water tanks. You got to make sure the water tanks are full. Otherwise, you've got no running water. You got to make sure the grey water is empty. Otherwise, you've got no drainage system. You got to make sure that the toilet's empty. You got to do you know what I mean? It's like an added layer of stuff that you weren't really used to in a house. So I think in that respect, and I don't think it's necessarily more difficult, so to say, but it's just there's an added layer of things that you have to think about.
It's a lot more to think about because it's also, on that note, it's like food shopping.
Yeah.
You can't fit much in the fridge.
You've not got a giant, like, American-style double fridge freezer, have you?
No, exactly, because we used to do food shopping and it was like buy every kind of like protein type thing that was on offer, chuck it in the freezer, and then you got it for the whole month basically. And here it's like, well, maybe we'll last 3 days.
Yeah, it's like the way that we do it now is we do a weekly shop. We go and do a big shop every week, but we'll only buy like main stuff for like 4 days. You just necked your grapes. Oh, people who are just listening to this are like, what the f*** are they talking about? Malin's just inhaled her frozen grapes that weren't frozen anymore. Yeah, we'll do like a weekly food shop, but we'll only buy like main stuff for like 3 or 4 days, and then we'll top up throughout the week. Because, yeah, simply put, the fridge is not massive. We've got quite a small fridge and an even smaller freezer. Like the freezer compartment's tiny.
Yeah.
But you just have to like adapt. You buy stuff that stays fresher for longer, like out of the fridge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've adapted quite well to that, I feel.
Yeah, I don't find it hard at all. Like in the beginning, it's a bit, you need to change the way you think a little bit. And like change your routine, which is very hard for us people, innit? Innit.
You rate from Mansfield, you are. We've got, right, okay, here we go. Just pause this for a sec now. Where are we? We're on episode 8 now, aren't we? So for people who have only ever watched us on YouTube, I've talked about it before. Those videos are quite edited. They're very edited. Here, you hear actual conversation. Maybe you hear people's accents a little bit more. Malin has a Mansfield accent, right? I'm from a place called Mansfield in the Midlands in England, in Nottinghamshire. And my accent has gone quite neutral. I've lost a lot of my Mansfield accent, luckily. Yours, because you've learned a lot of your English from me.
Yeah.
You sometimes say stuff that's like local to like Nottinghamshire. Like, or ate me duck.
I don't say that.
I've heard you say that. Like, dead.
Yeah,
instead of really.
That.
Like,
but that
it's dead
is,
cold out.
Yeah, but that is also like, because you say that in Swedish, that would be like completely translation from how I would normally speak.
That makes sense. Yeah. There's just sometimes you'll say stuff and I'm like, that's so Mansfield. In it is one of them.
That is one of them. And that is probably that, but it is, I probably adapted to that one quite well because that's how you would say it in Swedish.
Yeah, it's like...
From here, dökat.
Yeah, it's like just earlier we were saying about how warm it is with all the doors and everything closed, and you went, literally word for word, you went, I've got a wreck cob on, I have me duck. Didn't you? Yeah. Didn't you, innit?
I think it is because, well, especially for me, who learned it in school, I learned American English.
Yeah.
And it was very like school book. And like you learn English well, but you don't feel very comfortable speaking it.
Put the trash in the garbage can.
Yes, exactly. And then I met you and you ruined it all.
Yeah.
No, but then that's the English that we adapted to.
Yeah.
Like it's only been you lot that I heard speak English. And then you don't even think about it actively. It's just, you just start using the words that people use and you end up with the same accent and whatever.
Yeah.
But you can hear it on my best friend Emma as well.
Yeah.
She lives in Australia now.
Yeah. She's got an Aussie accent, hasn't she, when she speaks English. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of time in Sweden, when people speak English, they speak with an American accent. Now Emma is full on Aussie, mate, isn't she?
So I think it's just like you don't think like, oh, I'm going to change my accent so I'm sounding like them.
Yeah.
It's just like something that happens.
It's something that
without you thinking about it.
Definitely. This is an interesting subject. I think we should pencil this for an episode. Leave us a little comment if you think that if you'd like to hear more on this subject, because I think this could be quite a fun one.
Yeah.
I've just seen as well that Spotify have released comments. So if you're listening on Spotify, you can leave a comment on the episode now.
Didn't know that.
So if you're listening on Spotify, let us know if you want to hear more about accents and dialects and things like that.
Yeah, could be fun.
Yeah, resounding no.
Yeah. All right, should we do the most asked question then that you mentioned earlier?
Go on, what's the most asked question?
Do you ever shower?
Yeah, do you ever shower?
We can smell you through the videos. Do you ever shower?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah.
Do we ever shower?
No. Yes.
We shower a lot less than we did when we lived in a house.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
We don't shower every day.
No. I never did though.
No, you didn't. You always smelt bad. Yeah, so our van situation, the people that we bought the van off, who built most of the sort of foundation of the van, had sort of prepared the bathroom to have a shower in place.
Prepared.
Yeah, like half prepared. They'd put like a shower tray in. I guess that was the preparation. Yeah, it was a shower tray instead of a floor. They had said that they were going to put a shower in, and we sort of thought, like, we'll leave it, we'll live in it a little bit and see if we really need it, because there's outdoor showers. We bought a portable shower. We often wash ourselves in like lakes and in public showers on the beach and things like that.
Or campsites.
Or
we
whatever.
just knock on friends' doors and say like, hey.
Yeah, when we're in sort of areas where we've got friends and whatever, we're like, can we use your shower and your washing machine? And we sort of said like, we'll see if we need a shower, but neither of us were convinced, were we?
No.
And it's turned out exactly like that. I've got no intention of putting a shower in there.
No. And for me, I think it's because the bathroom is really, really small. So if you would put a shower in there, you would have to remove everything that's in the bathroom, because otherwise it gets soaked. You'd have to remove everything out into the van, and then you would shower and get everything wet, and it would feel so humid in here. Even if you got a fan in, it feels so humid.
Yeah.
And then you need to wait for everything to dry before you can hang stuff back up into the bathroom. And it just feels like it would be so much work. And instead you can just take your outdoor shower, like your portable shower, stand on the back of the van.
Shower there.
Yeah.
So we've come up with a new solution recently, haven't we? Where originally we bought like a portable shower thing where you like put it in a bucket of water and it pumps water out. And but recently we've bought like a self-contained one where it's actually got a foot pump. It's not even electric. So it's like a foot pump that you blow it up basically, and it creates its own pressure. The pressure in it's not amazing, but it does the trick. Like
Yeah, for
at the
you,
minute.
don't got hair.
Yeah, I can imagine it's not easy to get shampoo out of your hair actually with that, to be fair.
Believe it or not, you used to have long hair.
I did. When we met, I had luscious lion's mane of hair, didn't I?
Yeah, and then you met me and lost it all.
Yeah, and then I got stressed. And now that's left is going grey.
Yeah, that's the kids' fault.
That's
I'll
the kids.
blame that on the kids.
Yeah.
Hair loss you can take.
Hair loss on you. Grey beard on the kids, yeah. I think that's fair, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the new solution that we came up with after we bought this was we bought a shower curtain and a bunch of like rubberized magnets. And now you can have the two back doors open with a shower curtain with the magnets around, and you can shower naked, right? This was a massive thing. Like when you shower outdoors, obviously a lot of the time you wear a bikini. I wear a bikini.
Yeah.
And
cover them tits out. Out.
cover them tits out. What are you talking about?
You might think that I've been drinking, but it was actually just tonic water
Just
in
tonic
that.
water. Cover them tits out, baby. I wear obviously swimming shorts, but now because we've got like a privacy screen, you can
Yeah, until
shower
the
in
kids
the
come
nudie.
and remove the magnets. Charlie
Yeah.
did that the other day. He was like, "Hello, Mum," and I'm like, "Yeah, maybe you should leave the magnets on because we've got neighbours."
Yeah, or like earlier. Oh, bloody kids. Or earlier, we're parked up by a lake and there's been loads of people here today.
Yeah, it's been really hot today.
Yeah, and I was desperate for a shower, so I was out there showering. And the kids are laid on the bed, because obviously you can see straight down when you're on the back. The kids are laid on the bed. Papa's washing his willy! really loud, and I can hear people in the car next to us like packing the car after being to the lake. Papa's washing his willy. Like, shut up. But apart from that, it's quite nice.
Yeah, I think it is nice to have an outdoor shower.
Mm.
Like some days it is bloody cold.
Mm.
Like, you know, when it's not super hot in the air and then it's a little wind that comes, and obviously when you're showering like this, you got a limited amount of water, which means that you don't got the water on you all the time as you do in a shower in a house.
Not at all. No.
So like you wet your hair, you get your body wet.
It's starting to sound like an advert for Radox or Dove or whoever it is.
Yeah, and then you have to put the water to the side while you're like getting shampoo in.
Yeah.
And then if the wind comes, then it's so bloody cold.
Yeah, it's chilly, yeah.
But after it feels so good, don't it?
There's something, yeah, absolutely. There's something about showering outdoors. You feel so fresh after it.
Yeah.
I mean, my favourite thing is jumping in a cold lake. That's not that cold, actually. I'll take that bit back. A slightly cold lake when it's warm out and having a wash in the lake and stuff. There's something about that. You get out there, you feel so refreshed and whatever.
You do, but it's not all the time that you can do that.
No.
Like, I mean, you can jump in the lake, but like today, it's been probably 40 people up at this lake this afternoon. Like, you don't really want to take your shampoo and your razor and be like, hello, everybody having their dinner here tonight.
Anybody got any shaving foam? No, exactly. It's not always you can do that. And that's why it's nice to have some sort of shower solution. Because in Sweden, there's not that many public showers.
No.
Like in Spain, for example, they're everywhere, all along the beach. You can find a public shower anywhere.
Yeah.
Most of them you can't use shower gel with
No.
and shampoo. So that's a different thing that you have to consider. But if you've got a solution, even if it's just an outdoors one, you know, it feels nice. It feels a bit safer to have that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But for me, I absolutely don't miss having a shower indoors.
I don't.
When we've talked about potentially getting another van or another vehicle, let's say, we're looking at buses at the moment, spoiler alert, but like building out a school bus, for example, I still don't think I'm going to put an indoor shower in.
I don't. I think for the bathroom to be big enough to have a comfortable shower in it, I think it takes up way too much space in your van.
Yeah, or you're going to need like waterproof cabinets so that you don't have to take everything out, like you said, or like, yeah, it feels like pain.
Yeah.
And I don't miss it that much.
No,
So-
I don't miss it at all, to be honest.
I don't either, actually. So on the same subject then about sort of showering and stuff, we get asked about toilet situation a lot.
Yes.
And up until recently, we had like a standard motorhome toilet. You get these cassette toilets where it's basically just a tank. You fill it with chemicals, so it supposedly doesn't smell that bad.
Don't work.
And then you have to go to a special point a latrine point where you can empty it, and that's fine if you're in your motorhome for weekends and you use it for holidays, you know, for a week or two here and there. If you're living in it full time, it doesn't work, or it didn't work for us, did it?
No.
It was awful.
Smelled so bad.
It smelt bad. No matter how many chemicals you put in it, like you and me are quite like, we like to keep the use of chemical stuff low anyway, don't we? We don't love the idea of using chemicals all the time. But
No.
that you had to put in so many chemicals to slightly take the smell away, and it still didn't really work that well, did it? After a while,
it was disgusting.
It was
actually
like-
disgusting.
yeah, and it was difficult to find points to empty them wherever we were. Like in Sweden, they were always free, but you have to actually Google and look on a map where you can go to do it, or pay at a campsite. In Spain, they were a little bit easier to find. In Tenerife, you had to pay everywhere. So when we got back from the big travel in the winter, we built our own, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, you mainly, to be honest.
Well, yeah.
I can't take much on that except painting it slightly pink.
I was going to say a couple of design ideas. Yeah, we built our own toilet, and that feels fun to say.
Yeah.
We've got the toilet in there is completely home built, DIY compost toilet.
Yeah.
So that works in a different way. It's a composting toilet, which means that it separates the toilet stuff into solids and liquids. Let's just leave it there. And super easy to empty. Don't smell at all.
No,
It's completely
it is.
vented out. It smells nothing, really.
Incredible, actually.
Yeah, phenomenal piece of engineering.
Yeah.
After watching many YouTube videos and stuff, but it was actually really straightforward. And it works an absolute treat, doesn't it?
Yeah. And that's what surprised me. Sorry, I don't want to say like I didn't believe in you, but it did surprise me that it worked so well from the first time we tried it. Because I thought like, okay, let's try this. Let's see what happens. And then we need to change this or that or whatever. But it works perfect.
Yeah, we didn't have to modify anything, did we? It's been really, really good.
Yeah, surprised.
There you go. I'm not I'm not completely useless. But that's changed the game toilet-wise, hasn't it? It's made emptying the toilet and just living completely different. We're not stressed about finding somewhere to empty the toilet all the time.
No.
Game changer.
Like, it feels so good to have this toilet, actually. Not that I use it in that way, but...
No, you've got a good travel solution, haven't you?
That's the only positive about having a stoma.
Yeah, definitely. It's good for living in a van, isn't it?
Surprisingly,
Actually
it is.
Yeah, weirdly.
All right, another big one that people wonder. Do we ever wash our clothes?
Do we ever wash our clothes?
That's actually a real question to you right now. Do you ever wash your clothes?
Yeah, right. We don't wash our clothes as much as we would have done if we had a washing machine. That's true because when we had a house and when you got kids, that bloody washing machine is on every single day. Constantly. Absolutely constantly. No, now we sort of, while we're in Sweden, we take advantage of being close to friends and family who have washing machines. We do emergency hand washing stuff.
Yeah, I find it quite hard in Sweden to find places where you can do washing.
Like, I think campsites are pretty much the only thing. And campsites in Sweden are so expensive. It's like you don't ever do it.
No, we don't.
Well, no, not. But I think like when you're living in a van, it's different. Like, if you're on holiday for 2 or 3 weeks, you don't mind paying a bit extra for a nice campsite.
True.
When you live in your van and it's your everyday, there's something that's like, no, I don't want to pay 300 krona to stay here for one night.
No.
$25 for one night. So we don't end up doing it. But the laundry situation, we do take advantage of people that we know with washing machines. And it does obviously get to the point where the clothes build up a little bit more, don't they? He says, sitting here right now, if you're watching on YouTube, you might have been thinking, Tom's looking nice and summery today. He's got a summer vibe today about him. Not really. I'm on my last t-shirt and I'm wearing the only shorts that I can feasibly wear with no underwear. I've got denim shorts. That doesn't work. Don't try it. So I'm wearing nice comfy shorts because I've run out of pants.
Yeah.
Actually ran out of pants.
So
tomorrow is laundry day.
Luckily.
Luckily. So we undershot it by one day.
I got pants.
I undershot it by one day. My pants planning was not on form this week, unfortunately. But yeah, in Sweden, you're right. I felt like I thought it'd be a little bit easier in Sweden. There aren't washing machines everywhere, but in Spain, it is really easy, isn't it? Because there's these public laundromats everywhere.
And
often you find them at like petrol stations. You can go, like for us, we can fill the water up in the van. We can empty the wastewater.
You can wash the van.
You can wash the van and you can do laundry at the same time. It's like quite a good system, really, isn't it?
It is a good system because a lot of the time used it as in like, because the kids for some reason love doing laundry in these laundromats.
Yeah.
It's like the best day ever to go and do the laundry. So a lot of the time it's like one of us goes and does the laundry with all the kids, all of them.
All 17 of them, that's what it feels like sometimes.
It feels like it. Bloody feels like it. And the other one can sort the van out and then have a tidy. And by the time all the laundry is done, you got a tidy van, you got full van, like full of water, empty of grey water, get everything done all at once.
And clean clothes, yeah.
Nice and clean, nice and tidy. Set for another couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's quite a good system. But yeah, nothing really like that in Sweden. So we hand wash a lot and take advantage of friends and family, don't we?
Yeah. We sound like good people,
we do.
Don't we?
I was just thinking that. God, we sound like the worst people, don't we? Like,
please be friends with us.
Like, hello, can we use your shower and your washing machine?
Promise, we are lovely people.
Yeah, we are. We're fantastic people. We make up for it by being really lovable, don't we?
Yes.
That's it.
And humble as well.
And very humble, yeah, of course.
I can't remember how it goes, so I just made something up.
All right, it's time for everybody's favourite bit of the podcast, this brand new segment that we've got.
It's not brand new anymore.
It's third time now, isn't it?
Yeah.
This part of the podcast is called Give Us a Lift, and in this bit, both Malin and myself bring something to the table which we've found inspirational or uplifting that we've come across over the last week or something. Whether that's could be something that you've seen on Instagram or something that you've seen in the news or something that's happened to you in front of your very eyes, I was going to say.
I think you need to start this time because I have started twice.
Have you started twice, have you? Okay. I have got a bit of inspirational news, uplifting news. I don't know how you would say it, but something that was in the news last week that I saw and thought was, I don't know whether I thought it was funny or inspirational or what, but it was good anyway. It lifted my spirits.
Okay.
So a woman, I don't know where this was actually, I can only assume in America for some reason. She was a fan of like going thrifting, as they say, like going secondhand shopping. And she saw a vase that she liked and bought it for $4. She bought a vase that she liked for $4 and she thought there was something a bit special about this vase. Anyway, it turned out that this vase was an ancient Mayan artifact. She'd later looked it up, I guess, on the internet or whatever. And basically it ended with her taking it to an expert on ancient artifacts and things like that. And it turned out to be a 1,200-year-old Mayan artifact.
What?
Yeah, she thought it was it looks like a cool old retro thing from 20, 30 years ago. 1,200-year-old Mayan artifact in perfect condition. It was dated between 200 and 800 AD.
Wow.
And it was worth hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, even into the millions, I think. It didn't say exactly how much it was worth, but they seemed to think it was worth a lot of money, a boatload of money.
God, imagine that.
Imagine that. She bought it for $4. In the end, she gave it to the Museum of Anthropology in Mexico.
What, she gave it?
She gave it to them, yeah. They had confirmed that it was from this era and that it was something that, actually belonged to them, really. And I imagine she got her $4 back. But
she should have a lot more, mate.
But she ended up giving it to them.
God, she was a good person.
Really good person. I don't know how it works with those things, because with it being artifacts and stuff, I should know, coming from colonial England, we're really good at stealing other people's stuff. Our museums are full of
theft.
Yeah, pretty much. But I don't really know how it works, whether she had to, whether she could have sold it, I don't know. But in the end, she gave it back to them anyway. But it was, 1,200 years old. She was like, it looks like something from the 90s, that does.
That could have been mean. Ooh, a 10-year-old vase, I'm going to buy this.
You'd have been like, oh, that looks like something I've seen on that Hercules film when I was a kid. I don't know. For some reason, I just thought it uplifted me in some way. And I thought it was a nice ending that she actually gave it back.
Yeah, that was nice.
But there's a bit of inspiration for you if you're ever in a secondhand shop. Look out for old vases.
Yeah. Wow.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Mine doesn't feel very fun now when you said that.
Yeah, but I've felt that about yours for the last 2 weeks, so I'm sure you'll be fine.
Okay. Mine is, I don't want to say that it's sad, but it is a sad reason why it has inspired me.
Okay.
Because, all right, lately we've been going through all of these things with getting the reports done for all the hospital mistakes that's been happening through my whole cancer journey. And let me tell you this, it's been a lot of mistakes.
If you were to write a book, people would not believe you. People would think it was made up.
Yeah. And we've just been into meetings where it's the final reports are coming back. And this is the sad bit. I feel like people that work within the hospital who has done massive f***ups, sorry for the language, but massive mistakes. And they sit and they lie. They completely lie. Not just they go, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. They make up stories and they say that this and this has happened, even though it's evidence to say that this did not happen.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it does inspire me because it makes me want to speak up. It gives me so much motivation to just change the system. Like, how can it be this bad? How can they get to treat people this bad? How are patients living through this every single day? And now I got energy to fight.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying I'm going to fight for the sake of it, but I feel like I'm so inspired and so motivated to get a change in this sad, broken system.
Yeah.
I want to speak up. I want to show them, like, why is this not okay? Why can you not treat patients like this? How can you lie about what's happened instead of owning your mistake? Everybody's human. If these people would say, like, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, we're going to fix this like this so the next person doesn't have to go through it, that would make me satisfied.
Yeah.
Even if I know that it doesn't change my case.
Yeah. Because that's the only way that you can believe that it's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
You know that it's not going to happen to another 29-year-old.
Yeah, or anybody.
No, yeah, exactly. But yeah.
And that's why I feel inspired. It's like a sad reason why I feel inspired.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know where to reach out, but I feel like I want to use my voice and I want to show them, like, how many mistakes has been happening through this year and a half.
Wicked. Yeah.
And just, change.
Speak up.
Change
Speak
it.
up for change.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It needs to change. It needs to not happen again, and you are doing an amazing job of making that change, and that is a great reason to be inspired and motivated.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as fun as yours, though.
Well, it's maybe not as fun, but it's definitely more inspirational, I would say. So there you go.
There you go.
Speak up for change. Good job.
And buy old stuff.
And buy old vases if you see it in a second-hand shop, because you never know.
You never know.
So, going back to the discussion that we were having before, we touched a little bit on sort of showers and toilets and things like that. But there's one other aspect, obviously, that we get questioned about often, and that's cooking. How do you cook in the van?
We don't.
We don't eat anything. That's why we're skin and bones.
It is actually a lot easier than maybe you think it is.
Probably
I don't know.
is,
It was
yeah.
never a thing for me, but maybe it was because
you don't do the cooking, mate.
I used to. It's just this last week, mate. You need to calm those tits down. Maybe it's because I spent so many hours on a boat.
Yeah, it's not that different to being on a boat, is it? In a van.
No, we got a bit less than they got on a boat, I guess.
I guess so, yeah.
But I still never thought it was a thing. Like, I never found it difficult.
No, I've never found it difficult at all. We've got like a stovetop oven called an Omnia, and it's basically a donut-shaped thing that sits on top of our gas stove.
Yeah.
And you can do most things in that.
It's like pizza, homemade pizza.
Mm.
That's not good at all. I don't think it's good. Like, you have to make like a pizza roll for it to be half decent, and still I don't find it very good.
To be fair though, we've never tried it in Sweden, have we? With the pizza kits that we know and like.
No.
We've tried them in Spain, and the tomato sauce that you get is Spain. Book it in Spain. Call back to episode 2 there. But yeah, there's certain things that you're like, oh, if we had an oven, we would do this. But there's nothing that I miss. I don't miss it.
No, sometimes I miss a little bit more counter space.
Yeah, counter space is probably the thing. But that's also like, we do have some counter space and we have the table and whatever, but it's normally full of other stuff. Like, there's always kids playing on the table while we're cooking, for
It's
example.
always full of Lego on the table when you're cooking.
Lego on the table, and that little bit of counter space over there fills up very quickly, doesn't it?
It's like cut one carrot and it's full.
Maybe not quite. Counter space can be missed sometimes. You adapt to whatever you've got, don't you?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if we cooked everything in this van as we used to eat in the house, then maybe you would miss it a bit. But you also change the way you eat, I think, when you live in a van.
For sure.
Eating like a nice all-in-one pot thing pasta with like nice fresh veg and halloumi or whatever. Like that's super easy to cook in a van. So that's what you end up cooking. And we also enjoy that food as much as we did with the food we ate in the house. So it's not a problem.
No.
You just change a little bit with how you eat without actively thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Nail on the head right there. You adapt a little bit, you change what you cook, and you change what you enjoy as well, I think, or at least we have.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I don't think I miss anything about having a big kitchen, really.
I definitely don't miss cleaning
it.
a big kitchen.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
A lot of the time when we lived in the house, we fed the kids and we like support eated.
Yeah.
Eated. We support
ate. Nearly got you.
Support ate
Yeah.
with the kids, like had a few bits of pasta with them before we sent them to bed.
Yeah.
And then when one person was putting them to bed, the other person cooked a nice meal.
Yeah.
And then you got 2 meals to clean up from.
Yeah. You got people listening to us now going, that is not what we do.
I was like, oh, is somebody outside?
Stupid.
Like, who's listening?
Who's listening? Oh, I don't know. We just sat having a conversation in front of microphones. Who's listening? Hopefully a few people. Otherwise, what's the point? Oh.
You just looked outside, so I thought, like, what? Is somebody in the forest
God.
here?
I was looking at that camera.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Hello.
dead funny, that is. You muppet.
Also the fact that we only got 4 plates.
Yeah.
We only got 5 cups.
Yeah.
We only, like, it's not like in a house where you're like, I don't know.
Oh, we'll take a new one and save that for later.
We'll take a new one and leave that for later. And then all of a sudden, like, we used to have, I don't know, 10, 15 cups. And some days we're like, we don't got any clean cups.
Yeah, because they're all on my office desk upstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
I collected them from drinking 17 cups of tea a day.
Exactly. Can't do that here.
No.
I have to wash it.
Mm-hmm.
Or use the same one.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be a bit stricter on yourself with stuff like that, don't you? Otherwise it doesn't work. Otherwise you've got nothing to eat off.
No, but you also would never be able to travel. Like, you can't have anything out when you're traveling. So everything needs to be tidied away at least once a day, basically. Yeah. So it does make it quite easy in that way, I think.
Yeah.
And like just cleaning in general. The other night, you went for a run after the kids fell asleep. And I tidied the van. By the time you got back, I had like tidied the van, I had hoovered and mopped the floors and cleaned the bathroom. It
was spotless when I got back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long do you run for?
6 minutes. No, that particular day I was gone for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely spotless, top to bottom when I got back.
And I was sat relaxing when you got back.
Yeah. You'd done everything by the time I got back. Yeah.
And then stunning. It was like a complete mess when you left.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
the kids had been swimming to the last minute of that day, so it was like sandy, wet swimming clothes all over the van.
I can see why you were motivated to clean it.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this, I'm going out. So we've got one more thing written down here, or you've got one more thing written down here.
Question for you.
Question. Are we insane for doing this?
Yes.
100% insane. And anybody who's thinking about doing it, you're also insane.
Should you do it?
100% yes. You're absolutely insane for doing it, but it is the best decision that we have ever made.
100%.
Not even any shadow of a doubt.
No.
It is the best decision that we've ever made.
Yeah. All of us are so much happier.
Yeah.
I find life so much easier. Even if some days I feel like I'm going insane.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff everywhere. It's kids everywhere. It's men everywhere.
Is it? You live a very different van life to what I do.
No, it is, honestly, it is very, very rare that I feel like you and me get on each other's nerves.
Yeah.
I don't ever feel like it's you that's the problem. A lot of the time, I feel like it's the kids that's the problem.
I feel like we're throwing the kids under the bus in this episode, haven't we?
Yeah, we are.
Them.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love my kids and I find it so much fun to do this with them.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Majority of the time, I don't feel like that.
No.
Majority of the time, we're all having a great time, no matter if it's raining or if it's sunny, if we're in the van or outside of the van, whatever we do, we have so much fun.
Yeah.
But the reason why is sometimes the rare occasion, the 1% where I feel like this is hard now, is when it's kids all over the place.
Yeah.
And
when you can't get a break from them. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And I know that you feel like that as well. But I think it is extra on me.
I was just about to say that it's different though, because like we've talked about before, the kids have had this separation anxiety from you, where now that you're healthy and you are there and present, they are on you all the time.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I am not good enough for anything. I can't. They won't even look at me. They'll look past me and go to you. Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes you're sat on that chair,
Mm-hmm.
like watching TV with the kids, like doing nothing, and I'm like doing the dishes, and yet they get up from the sofa that I'm sat on, and they go to me and they're like, "Mama,"
Yeah.
and it's like, well, yeah, there's another person here
Yeah.
who's
Right
not
here.
doing anything.
Yeah.
He's right there to keep you company.
More than capable of pouring a glass of milk.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want?
Yeah. Yeah, and you know that people say that sometimes when you have kids, it's like when Donkey meets Shrek.
Yeah.
I 100% feel like that some days. I got 2 donkeys running after me and they never shut up. They're always talking on one ear each about different things.
Yeah.
And as soon as I move, they move.
Yeah.
It's like, how many times have I opened the door on a child because they just sneak up behind me and they're just there from nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's when I feel like it's hard. But I know that I would have felt that it was hard in a house as well.
100%. I was just about to say that. Yeah, that's no different to being in a house. It really isn't.
No.
Just that in a house, you can go into that spare room and lock the door.
Yeah.
Like, deal with it. Go and ask your dad.
Yeah.
We don't have that here. But it would have been the same anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, it would.
But anyway, just going back to that, are we insane for doing this? What's your honest verdict?
No. I love it.
Yeah.
I love every single minute of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just feel like all of us, me individually, but us as a family are so much happier. So no, I don't feel like we're insane for doing it.
If somebody came up to you and they were like, I've been thinking about moving into a van with my partner, what would you say to them? Would you say do it? Give it a go?
Yeah, I would. I would say if you love each other,
Yeah.
do it.
If you have a good relationship.
Yeah, because
you can't do this. You cannot do this if you have one of those rocky relationships where you're fighting all the time.
No.
Or where it's like you feel like you're living on top of each other already living in a house. Because some relationships are like that. You can't, you find it hard, I think.
Yeah.
Not saying that you can't adapt, but let me put it this way. The reason why you and me have thrived so well is because we have a good, solid relationship where we're also mates. And we're really good at talking through stuff instead of arguing about it, aren't we?
Yeah, we're also very good at letting things go. And I think that's also a thing where we're quite good and why we're suited to doing this kind of life, because we don't give a shit.
No.
Like,
we've got that mentality, and we've had it like more so now after we've been through this big battle and stuff. We've got this mentality that is like there's more important things in life. We always have had that. But now I feel like we've got it even more. It's like, what does it matter?
So, yeah, I would definitely recommend other people to do this.
Bottom line, if you're thinking about it, give it a go.
Yeah.
As long as you feel like your relationship can handle it.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking about doing it with kids, run away. No. If you're thinking about doing it with kids, it's also been the best decision that we've ever made for our kids.
Yeah. 100%. We got a comment the other day on our Instagram where a person said, in my next life, I want to be your kids. And
What?
I thought that was the best compliment you can ever have.
That is the biggest compliment we've ever received. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. What a wicked way to round off this podcast.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah. It made me happy.
Yeah, that's probably one among the best comments we've ever had. Probably. That's really, really nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's round this podcast up, shall we?
Yeah.
It's. I feel like we brought a bit more energy to the table this time.
Yeah, I don't
You're
know if
not-
it was good energy.
No, it might not have been good energy, but I feel like you're not looking at me like you're dead behind the eyes this time.
No.
which you were at the end of the last episode.
Yeah, felt like that.
Yeah, me too, to be honest. But if you've made it to the end of this podcast, once again, there's a gold medal in the post for you.
No, not for this one. This was a brilliant one.
All right, toot your own horn much. No, I just felt like that we were sort of getting into that's what we were going to say at the end of all the episodes because it's quite a fun thing to
Okay. I
say.
thought it was...
All right, you know what? She's spoken. There's no gold medal. Tune in next time and see if you get one then. She's being stingy with the gold medals this time.
Yeah, you have to earn it.
But no, genuinely, though, if you have made it to the end of this episode, thank you very, very much for listening. It is absolutely lovely to have you on board. We can see that this podcast is growing and you lovely lot are doing your part.
Yeah,
And
thank you
it's
so
massively
much.
appreciated,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's so much fun.
Once again, if you're listening on Spotify, leave us a little comment, test out that new little feature. Make sure you hit the follow button wherever you are. Leave us a review because we've been in and out of the charts, moving up and down and stuff like that. And we want more people to find it, this podcast, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
So, massive thanks once again. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.